Shaji, Arvindji, of the managing committee, ladies and gentlemen, and all the children here. Happy Republic Day. I thank you very much indeed. I am deeply honored that you have invited me here to share this Republic Day with all of you. Suyog is a 4-year-old organization. Anindji has pointed out some of the things that we have done. When I worked with PNC and Mantralaya and NGOs and the media during the Mumbai flood, and even thereafter, over a wide range of issues, where we formed different groups of citizens, of experts, of NGOs, and of government officers, and made various recommendations for different policies and procedures, some of which got converted into laws. I realized two important things, and those are the two learnings that I would like to share with you briefly. One, I realized that the problems of our country and our city are so immense and so severe that government cannot solve them on its own, no matter how much money they throw at it, without the active and continuous involvement of citizens. The second learning that I got was that actually government, whether it is state or central, or whether they are government bodies like the Planning Commission or the World Bank, they do not have a solution for our problems. The solutions can only come if government takes into account suggestions of citizens like us who are experiencing the daily problems, and they take our input towards the problem and towards the proposed solution. And because one problem is interrelated with another problem in the city, and because there are a lot of times unintended consequences and unexpected effects, therefore we as citizens have a very important role to play, which is to give suggestions whenever government is thinking of a new policy, or even before that, and to also be involved with the solution as it is being implemented, and afterwards when it is actually implemented on a daily basis. So in light of this, actually I would like to tell you all why I admire the SNEH. Firstly, I think that to have something as the SNEH community from as early as 1954, when you all have met on different occasions as a group, I think it just shows how much you care for the country, for the city, and for the locality. There are not many groups which are organized like this, and it is not a small matter. I also admire SNEH because you all have realized that while working as an individual is good, but it is when you come together as a group that you actually strengthen and keep on becoming stronger. It is not easy to keep a group together. Even in an individual building, it is very difficult for members to be cordial and get along with each other, and to show that you've been able to do it with such a diverse group of people is indeed very commendable. In fact, we are seeing that after 26/11, after the Mumbai terror attacks, a lot of new citizen groups have come forward, and I think that it is with interacting with groups like yours that they can actually learn a lot, because they are all floundering, they are all trying to think and figure out what can they do and how they can sustain themselves. In case you have not taken out a locality newsletter, I think that could be one way in which you could spread awareness about your group as well as guide others in Mumbai who are looking for doing the same thing. I also admire SNEH and the SNEH community because they are taking the trouble to invest in your neighborhood. We all invest in the education of our children, we invest in the health of our families. But it is very few people who have the foresight to actually invest in our neighborhood. And for our countries like Mumbai, it is important to come ahead and do so. The SNEH group and the SNEH community has a lot to offer to the city. A lot of times we think that what we are doing is maybe not so important. A lot of times when people talk of nation building, they will talk about great corporates or leaders. But it is actually the relentless work, the continuous work, the ordinary work citizen groups do on a daily basis that actually build the nation. When we talk of slogans like My India, My Pride, but these slogans we all know in our heart can only hold good if we can say the same thing of our locality. And therefore it is indeed very heartening to see that while we are, as example in Karmayog and similar organizations like ours, trying to spread the different ways in which groups can come forward and actually engage with DMC and other authorities, but it is good to really see in practice a group of people who do this over a period of time. I know that the SNEH group has been very committed. It's a proactive group, it's an aware group. There are some members here who have filled in the various forms that we have in Karmayog. We have a Satya form, we have a Vaughan form. I know that you have taken on a battle against pollution, both noise and air pollution from nearby factories. And it's very good to see that this is happening instead of just waiting, instead of just complaining. It is an active group, a group which really is a serious group, is one that is willing to take action on its own and not just rely on others or by merely complaining. Because to do so, you actually need to know the laws, you need to know the procedures, you need to know who are the people involved, and that takes effort. And it is something that we are seeing the SNEH group do. I admire the group simply because of its name also. Many groups come up in a locality and they name it after something like Save So-and-so Park or Save the Beach or Clean the Beach or maybe for their own area. It doesn't give enough motivation because you cannot have that as a continuing activity. So I must say that the vision and foresight of the founding members of the SNEH community and the SNEH Nagarik Sangh to imply the spirit of coming together of citizens in the spirit of, with love and affection and having this as a broader goal of humanity is something which is relevant, it is eternal, will surely guide everyone who is involved in this to keep together as a group. I want to also say that I admire the group because you all have actually experienced the transformative power of citizen engagement. When we start, when we believe that we can make a difference, when we take steps in doing so, when we have belief that what we want in the future is our right, but that we are willing to take the effort to actually make that happen. It is in that process that we actually change ourselves. And ultimately in life, what is very important is what happens inside us, much more important than what happens outside. And to see and ensure that the qualities in this transformation would be in all the members here. Qualities come in clusters. So you develop a bunch of good qualities or a bunch of bad qualities. And I'm confident that members here have these bunches of good qualities in abundance. And what is even more important is that you're passing on these qualities to children. Children face a very competitive and a very cynical world. And it is only when they see us actually taking actions that they can withstand the pressures of not doing anything. I would like to end by saying that you all must keep up your good work. Sometimes we think that what we are doing in either isolation or as a small group is not impacting the city or country. But it definitely is. Every step that we take strengthens everyone else. This is really the only way that we can improve our own area as well as the city and finally the country. Jai Hind.
Just present a very small token of our gratitude.